Go. Welcome in. It is officially week 5. That means week 4 is behind us. I'm here with my co-host Dylan Perrone and our special guest of the week, comeback king himself. Can he make a run? Let's see. Chris Camarote. What's up, buddy?
Going on?
It's a pleasure to have Chris on. One of the highest point scorers in the league so far. Finally got his first win. He dropped 180 points this week. I think that's might be a league high so far, or one of the highest for sure. So, let's give Chris a warm welcome. How do you feel to be on the show, Chris? How does it feel to get your first win?
Feels good. It's been a long time coming.
That's sick.
150 more points than Ant, and so that's not fun.
Yes, that is one of the brutal aspects of fantasy. Anyways, I think we should, no further ado here, jump into the matchups and give Chris the floor here. I know he probably has a lot to say. We could put up his matchup on the board, and he can talk us through the masterful piece of beauty that he showed us this week. The floor is yours, Mr. Chris. What do you think about your opponent, and what do you think about how your team performed?
Yeah, I think we showed up this week, definitely. The one thing I do have going as well as my 2 top guys are really not even performing, Kamara and Waller. They're not putting up what they should be. But still everyone else scored a lot of points. So high scoring week. It was nice. Also Sal had a rough week. I think a lot of his guys didn't break 10. Some bad matchups in there, and just overall rough week. But yeah, it's a good. It was a good game. Don't really have much else, I don't think.
Yeah, I agree. Clearly, I don't think it matters what I did. Putting up 180 is going to be tough to beat against anybody. Started off with DJ Chark literally getting injured on the first play of the Thursday night game.
Yeah, he broke his leg or something.
Yeah, I think the injury bug from Big is starting to rub off on me. The rest was pretty much history. Obviously, Prescott showed up. Gibson was okay, even though he's banged up, not getting as many touches as he should be. It was a shit show from my end. Yeah, I think your team hit 180, and like you said, not completely full stride. If Kamara gets in the end zone, he has an amazing game. He still rushed for 120 yards. Still 12 points is not a bad week.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe for Kamara it is, but yeah, still solid points. I think Chris should definitely be better than 1-3. He's, the standings are the standings, so you got to get your first win, and you did. And I think you'll end up in contention for playoffs with this kind of team. It's just a matter of health, obviously. There's definitely some upside here on your side. Fournette looks like he's solidified in that backfield. I think you'll be fine there. DJ Moore's absolute monster. Metcalf really hasn't hit stride. Really.
No, Moore's kind of been way more reliable than Metcalf has.
DJ Moore is a beast.
It'll come on.
Yeah.
No, DJ Moore is an absolute monster.
Yeah. I had a couple of
Waller, of course. Edmonds looks great. The whole offense is amazing. So,
Hollywood Brown.
Marquise Brown can go off any week. Yeah. Herbert, so you'll be fine. Are you looking to have any other moves as far as depth purposes, or like bye weeks coming up and stuff like that?
Well, not too much, but I did notice both of my quarterbacks have the same bye week, so something's gonna have to happen there.
You got a good backup in Kirk Cousins, so.
Yeah, he was he's been a beast the past 2 weeks. He kind of slowed down this week, but he's been looking good.
You can always pick up a third quarterback to stream.
Yeah, it's probably what I have to do just for 1 week.
You have 2 defenses right now. You don't really need to hold on to 2 defenses either.
No.
Actually, Chris, you have an empty bench spot. Oh no, you don't.
No, that's IR. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Yeah, you'll be fine. I like the upside in Pollard. Pollard's had a good week, a good year. If Zeke goes down. I mean, that's just amazing. So
Yeah. Yeah, a couple of these guys are gone. Williams, he lost his spot on Baltimore, so he's not really playing anymore. So he's probably gone this week.
yeah, the Juju thing's interesting. Claypool was out, and he still only saw 2 receptions.
Yeah, Juju
I
is
mean, he had
weird.
8 targets though. So I don't know how much you can blame Big Ben when he still had 8 targets. It's definitely something going on
I didn't
there.
see that. He had 8 targets. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it was Ben throwing, but I mean, 8. You're dropping some of those balls, so
Yeah, that's not good.
that kind of happened to Claypool last week too. I don't know what this mystery injury was this week, but he had like 18 targets, 15, whatever it was, and 9 catches. So there's definitely something off of Big Ben.
Yeah. He's not who he used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as my side, obviously, I couldn't really afford a loss with my points for at the moment, but at least I still have 2 wins. I obviously made a big trade today. There's a few big trades in the league today, Dill. I don't know if you want to cover that now, but we might as well wait a little bit for those. But yeah, I'm looking to bounce back. Obviously, I need some big weeks. I need some 150 plus weeks to get my points for back up and to stay in the win column. Keep throwing those W's up. So, right now I'm not winning any tiebreakers, unfortunately. But it's only week 4, so I'm not worried about it. I'm actually excited for bye weeks because I think, a lot more strategy goes into play. You can catch up on points that way. I'm just concerned in week 7 when my entire team has a bye. Yeah, I think the future looks good. Looks definitely better. So, my main concern is my new team name, which is Cook come back. I'm hoping Dalvin Cook gets found. Literally, he's on this milk carton right here. I don't know if anyone's seen him. Let me know.
You're playing
the second overall pick. What happened?
You're playing junior week 7, so that might be rough.
Yeah, I pretty much lost anyway, right? He's goated, so
yeah,
that's the point. No, but the truth is, I can't lack points, so I can't afford a bad week.
Yeah.
I don't even have a starting team right now to put in, so I'll figure it out.
I'm here.
Yeah, so I mean that pretty much wraps up our match. It wasn't even a match. I've never gotten beat this bad in a fantasy game, at least in this league.
It was the biggest blowout of the week.
Definitely biggest blow of the week. One of the biggest blowouts in a while, if not ever. Almost 100-point blowout. That's ridiculous. So, congrats to Chris. I'm glad he got his first win. His team definitely deserves a win.
Yes, he did.
And yeah, we're moving forward here. So we'll move on to Dill's game so we can have the floor. He took on the Big Nose Reindeer himself. He gave him his first loss. I'm sorry. Jeez, I'm looking at the wrong match. No, he lost to Cass in that nail biter in the last drive. That's right. This was a back and forth. We were on the plane for this one. We're on the plane for all of them, but we just landed when that happened. So go ahead.
Yeah, story of the matchup is my flex. Gaskin got like 18 touches last week.
0.3 still.
Yeah, you might as well go at negative at that point.
Hello? Yo.
Hear you.
Yeah. Why didn't you play Earth?
I think Dill is trying to catch the Yankee game at the bar.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
All right. I was saying that basically the story of the matchup is Gaskin. If I started anyone else in my flex, I would have won. Literally anyone else, even P. Ryan.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean that's literally the reason that I lost. Everyone else on my team performed pretty well. Mixon got hurt, which sucked, but I can't even be mad about the performance of my team, honestly. My tight end was good, my receivers were pretty solid. Running backs were okay, but just the flex let me down. But honestly, I have good bench. I think I'll be fine moving forward. It was just rough one, tough pill to swallow because I lost with 30 seconds left.
Yeah. These nail biters definitely bite, man, when it comes down to it in the end. But I mean, a win's a win. I just want to get an insight on you, Dill. And I don't cast here to ask him, but these are close wins, and they're not the best of weeks. They're not the worst of weeks. But do you guys really feel confident, like kind of staying in that 120, 100, and maybe like low 30, like floor, or do you think you need to find more upside to pull through at the end of the season
There he is.
versus teams like Junior
What'd
and
he say?
Joey? Can you hear us still? I think we're losing him.
Yeah, I don't know if he's right here.
I think my point is like
I'm back. No,
Can
I'm
you
not
hear us
okay
still?
with I'm not okay with 120 points a week. But
You're on
just
mute.
my ability to put up more than that. It was really just a matter of not starting the right guys in the flex. I also have Michael Thomas coming back in a couple of weeks, so I mean then he'll be a stable flex. But I'll probably end up going to throw in Robbie Anderson. He got 11 targets this week without Christian McCaffrey, so he might be back.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you got to get yourself in playoff contention. So wins are wins. But in order to beat these giants like
So,
Joey
yeah, that's
and
kind of where
Junior,
I'm at right now.
yeah, especially Joey alone, it's going to take a lot of points to beat this kid, I think, unless the entire Chiefs team gets a freaking COVID infection or something.
Yeah.
Knock on wood. I don't want anyone to get that, but I like the Daniel Knox pick. I think the Buffalo Bills offense is firing. I think they have actually more upside to come, but that was a nice pickup stream. Now official tight end one.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Obviously, it's hard to decide between Stafford and Rodgers each week. I thought you probably should have started Rodgers, but didn't pay off by much, apparently. Actually, would have paid off enough.
You would have won.
All you needed was freaking 3 points.
Yeah, I'll probably roll Rodgers moving forward.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to. I mean, Rodgers was an asshole week 1, so it kind of sucks. He's playing games. And Adams, I don't know, man. It's like a roller coaster ride. Literally. It's like, to me, 30 or bust. I don't know. I don't think that's fair. But I mean, 6 or 64 is not a bad day. I think he missed a lot. Let me see his target share. Yeah, he had 11 targets and 6 catches. So the volume is there. That might be on him this week. I didn't watch the games as I was on the plane. Pittman seems to be doing fine. There's no really like connection in the red zone, I guess, though. Like why he's not. I didn't really see him getting in the end zone much this year, other than just having a lot of targets. But maybe if he can start clicking more there, he's going to be a fire flex player. Gaskins obviously got to get out of the lineup. You know that. I don't know. Maybe sell him. I'm not really sure what to do with Gaskin. Mixon, I think he's a little banged up, right?
I'm back, but that's just about all I got on the matchup. Moving forward, I'll probably be flexing Anderson, and I'll probably be starting Rodgers, and that's about it because Rodgers looks good again.
Yeah, I agree with that. What happened to Mixon?
But yeah, if you want to move on, I think bright sides for Cast is Ezekiel Elliott looks really good, and Dallas is running the ball through him, which kind of gives Dak Prescott a backseat. So, and like the passing game, I think he only had like 188 yards, but it's good for Cast. And he found his streaming quarterback in Heineke too. So,
we didn't actually touch on Cast much yet. I was kind of talking about your side. Just to touch on Cast before we move on, me and Chris will touch on him. So I just think the Heineke, I think he knows his QB1 is his biggest issue. Heineke is like, he can put up 33, he can throw in his 3 interceptions next week and have 10 points. Yeah, it's like it's a freaking shot in the bucket with Tyler Heineke, especially if he plays a good team. Atlanta's not a good team. Jefferson's finally showing up. There's so much more on the table for Allen Robinson. I'm not sure what's going to happen until Justin Field gets it together. Zeke looks like the Zeke we were expecting, if not more. Davis has been a little bit shy, like kind of just floating around 10-point floor each week. Hawkinson's kind of dropped back to reality a little bit. But it's a tight end, so you kind of expect that from them.
Yeah.
Williams still splitting carries with Gordon. So unless he takes over that backfield, it's a tough flex play. And Patrick was pretty good till this week. It's tough. I mean, they had a tough matchup. The Broncos. They played Baltimore and almost got shut out for the most part until the end of the game.
Yeah.
What do you think about Chris's or Cass's team?
Did he trade with Luke today, or is that someone else?
He isn't. I can attest. I think he's in trade talks. I think everybody's in trade talks with specifically Luke alone. There's a lot of trading offering going on. There's 2 trades that were done, but no, nothing officially done yet.
Yeah,
The
I
trades
almost.
that went down were big in Luke and me and Luke.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was talking to Cass about something, but I didn't want to do it. So
Yeah, it seems like a lot of trade talking going on this week, which is interesting. I mean, I can see why. Cass is going to keep making moves. He needs to solid. Was he asking for a quarterback?
yeah, he's got a lot of guys putting up under 10. He needs to maybe make some moves.
Yeah, I think the hope was, and I kind of liked what he was doing. I thought the Justin Fields would come up. I mean, there's still time for him to blow up to the end of the season, but he's not looking like the Fields that I thought I was going to see. But he's a rookie, so Julio Jones should be back soon. Hopefully, that'll help. Gallup is still injured. Shepard fell off with an injury as well, so he kind of got hit in the receiver end for flexes. So his flexes are kind of like shaky now. Oh, but he has Chenault. I totally missed that. Schultz probably like the waiver wire pick of the week, and he already has him on his bench. I
Yeah,
don't know, half the leagues apparently dropped Chenault the last couple of weeks, but obviously with Chark gone, and it should be fine. So he could definitely flex Chenault, then no problem, and Julio when he gets back. Yeah, I think it's just like figuring out that RB2 and the solidifying more of a quarterback one that can have more of a floor going forward, and then Allen Robinson starting to show up, and he'll be fine. But there's definitely question marks there. He's pulling off wins. He's 3-1, so he gave himself a nice little cushion. But that shit can go quick. You can go from 3-1 to 3-4 before you know it. So
yeah, especially I think he's last or second to last in points for. So it could.
Yeah, he's right ahead of me, right?
Yeah,
So,
it could catch up to him.
Yeah, so same thing. He can't afford the tiebreakers at the moment. So both solid teams, but they're going to have to figure out ways to increase their points for per week, in the long run. But
Yeah.
when they start playing these better teams as well. Let's go into the next game. So we have probably the best match of the week. I know that was the closest matchup, and it was a very good matchup. Probably the best matchup. It was a heavyweight bout between our commissioner Sal and Junior. It was back and forth. I know it ended up being a 29 or 19-point win, but it really was closer than that. It came down to Eckler last night.
Yeah, it was close until the end.
It was fucking close. Yeah, I didn't think. I mean, Eckler went off though. Either way,
Yeah.
I think Eckler put up
30 points.
Yeah, but it was a lot last night. 29-50, yeah. So I think it would have been enough anyway. But it was so up and down because Junior had all these guys at the 4:00 game when we were on the plane, and they went off. They went off early third, and then they all just slowed down. So it looked like they were just gonna keep racking up the points. I think Chris Carson was. He just got. I don't know if he's I guess he's kind of banged up, but the other guy, Alex Jones, I can't think of his name at the moment. He was taking all his carries. He actually got in the end zone as well. So he was eating away from Carson. Hopkins was getting eaten from everyone else around him, whether it was AJ Green, Max William, how's his name, the tight end, and all the other guys around him. That offense was just ditching it out, or Murray's taking it himself. So Kupp kind of fell back to reality. So wasn't a terrible week, but he didn't get in the end zone at all.
Yeah, he's got 20, 40, and 30. This is his first time below 20. Kupp.
Yeah, exactly. Debo had a monster game. He's having a monster season. Forget a monster game. So that 37 points is absolutely incredible. Cooks is back in reality as well. I mean, it's still not a bad game. He put up 127. He could have beat a bunch of teams. But this is definitely a low week for his roster, his how strong his team is. So you're gonna have to take these bad weeks. James Conner actually went off on his bench, 2 touchdowns. I don't see where he can start James Conner on his team. Well, he can put him in the flex maybe, but I don't know. I don't think there's much. The only thing he could have done was maybe flexed him in, but even then it wasn't enough.
Samuel.
Maybe Cooks. I don't know if you trust Cooks in that offense. I like Cooks, but he's been putting up 20 points a week, so it's hard not to start a receiver over a second string running back, in a PPR league. So He didn't make any wrong calls here. You know,
No, not at
there's
all.
not much you can do. And then yeah, Sal's team hit his stride. I'm not sure if hopefully this isn't a ceiling for him. He's going to want a little bit more than this, but 146 is an excellent week. Definitely one of the better
He's
points
gonna
this
go
week.
put up pretty good
Yeah,
numbers.
what place did he? He's now 2-2, but he jumped the rankings. He jumped all the way to 5th because of his points 4 in total. So he went from 9th to 5th in one week after losing to me last week.
Oh well, yeah.
And I'm down to 9th. So we swapped spots this week. Kittle hasn't been as good as he needs to be though, so there's some more upside there. And no, but this is he's got a good team. I think he may want to look at his QB1. I think he knows that. I think he was expecting more from Tannehill this season. Tannehill's got freaking 2 touchdowns in 4 games. That's absurd. I think his backup is Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, he's not playing as well as he could be. Tannehill.
Yeah, he needs to pick up another quarterback and just
And
make a trade.
He's not going to do it for him, man.
Hunt looks good. He looks just as good as Chubb, if not better. Boyd looks excellent, of course. Cooper's a beast, and he's not even getting a lot of literally. He did that he did this off of 1 catch, or well, it was three catches. But he 3 targets, 3 catches. Look at his efficiency rate. Throw the guy the ball more. I don't understand this. Even I know we're winning. We're 3-1 the Cowboys, but dude, his efficiency rate is one of the highest in the league.
Yeah, he's catching every ball.
He generally catches it because he gets so open, man. Marvin Jones should be fine. He was already doing solid, but Chark is out, so I can see a big bump for Jones and Chenault.
Mm-hmm.
So he should be a more liable flex going forward. So that does mean, everything we're talking about is just making Sal's team better. So if he's putting up 147 now, he should be fine. He's really got to worry about that fucking QB1 spot, dude.
Yeah, he needs something there.
He does have Damian Harris as well as another running back, but obviously he's kind of fallen off there. Other than that, his depth sucks beyond that, but so he's got room to make some moves. I think these should both be 2 of the 6 playoff teams. I think Junior is gonna. I hate to say it, but I think he's gonna be in the finals. Anything short of the finals is an absolute joke and a disappointment from Junior's team this year. I'll be honest.
Yeah, no, they should both be there.
So we'll see.
This is a low week for Junior. He's been putting up a lot more than that.
Yeah, definitely a low week. That's pretty much it there. Let's go to the next matchup. Yeah, so we got Joey and Big. I know this is a huge rivalry between the family. I know ours was a big blowout, but this was just as big almost.
Almost there.
About 70 points, right? 75 points. So
yeah, Mike Williams was playing yesterday, and he was projected. Me and Joey were projected both 180, and Mike Williams got 1 catch. I don't even know what he did. Yeah, one catch for 11 yards. And
it's strange how you can fall back to reality like that.
That's
the thing. We know the whole Kansas City thing, so it's gonna be hard to stop Kansas City offense for any NFL team, and just gonna translate right to fantasy. But the fact that he has, so I'm gonna say this nicely, I guess he has possibly the worst 1-2 running back punch I've ever seen in fantasy football history. Yeah. With that being said, he's found a glitch in the system where someone like Cordell Patterson can be put into the RB spot. He's now become a receiver / running back, which I'll be honest, I think that's fucking stupid. I really don't think it should be allowed.
That's really.
Honestly, I've never noticed that till this year. Dill said that there was 1, maybe 2 players in recent years, but come on, man, just pick a position. Number 1. Number 2, how is Cordell Patterson putting up 34 points on the worst offense in the league? Almost, I don't freaking know. I get it. He's doing everything. He's literally the gadget guy, the slot guy, the outside receiver, the running back, the fullback, the quarterback. He's literally doing everything. So I can understand how he's putting up points, but I don't know, man. And then Zach Moss on top of it, as his RB2, and he's actually putting up solid numbers.
They don't even show his. You can't even see his real points here.
Zach?
No, Cordell.
I don't know why. Cordell.
because it shows their running stats and not their catching stats. Whatever, either way,
Oh yeah, because I understand what you're saying.
he's been put up stupid points. And I mean, Hill and Mahomes put up. He would have beat them with Hill, Mahomes, and Kelsey.
Yeah.
That's all he needed to win this game.
That's it. And that's pretty much going to be it,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, Hill and Mahomes put up 100 points.
Yeah.
Actually,
91.
well, yeah, it's 91 points.
92. They needed.
So you can afford shitty players like Mike Williams and Ayuk to put up 4 points. So, and Kelsey didn't have to do anything because as long as it's either Kelsey or like it's either gonna be one of the two, or they're both gonna put up 30, 25 points. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
no matter what, he's looking at 100, 120 between the three of them.
Yeah.
Literally, if you ideally think about that. So yeah, he can plug and play anyone at that point. He's even playing the Kansas City fucking defense. Why not?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping Gordon can get up to speed and start eating into this or eating into the pie, because I have him on my bench. I picked him up for free. I know Joey was targeting him too. He was literally going to play him as well. No, I get it. It's going to work. Like,
He's got some
but his
depth.
money's all in. His money's all in on one thing. So
Yeah.
however, I think that's probably how you should play fantasy football, though. It's a high risk, high reward. I mean, you're not playing to get second, third, fourth, fifth, all the way down to 12th. There's no reason, I got second the last 2 years. I should know this, Sure. I guess you could play for second or first, but you still get money. If it's about the trophy, then no,
Yeah.
So you kind of you put your money in one basket and try to win, and you shoot for the most upside you can get, and that's kind of what he's done. I just don't know how these other guys are panning out for him. It's kind of annoying, but I don't think it'll. I actually surprisingly, I get this. He's gonna be in playoff contention because of the three. But I think he's gonna come down to reality. I really do. I seriously do.
Yeah, because
I know it's 4-0, but
I mean, the Chiefs are going to have a bad week here and there, right? And that's not.
Yeah, enough to where it's like these other guys are just not going to put up points,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you have guys putting up 2, 6. Yeah, you're not going to get there with that.
You got Darrell Henderson, who's been a beast. So like, why he's not even in his lineup, I don't know. But
yeah,
Jefferson,
they're playing the Bills this man. He might have a rough time this week.
Darnold's actually a solid backup quarterback this year.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, I know Anthony and Nick are not exactly happy, and they were the first ones to make a trade today. Even they traded with Luke, and then I went and traded with Luke. It was like kind of like, I guess, like a triangle trade almost in a way. I know I was in talks with them last night about trading, and it was just this big fucking triangle trading going on, and I couldn't get a job. I couldn't get a deal with them, so they got a deal with them with Luke, and then I got a deal with them with Luke. So, they lost Montgomery. That's one of the big topics of the week in general. Montgomery was awesome, 2 touchdowns, 106 yards. Looked great, but they actually overused him, and that's pretty much what happened. He didn't tear his ACL. That apparently the Bears are trying to like withhold the information, but they got leaked anyway, which they didn't do. Nagy didn't do a good job. So I think what they're saying is 4 to 5 weeks, which makes sense for a sprained knee, and especially playing in a professional football. You don't want to make it worse.
Looks they got a week 10 bye, they're saying, so he might be not back till week 11.
Week 11, when he's gonna get back? You're saying?
If they sit him, because they've instead of playing him week 9,
because of bye. Okay,
they have a bye on week 10.
So they needed to plug in their RB situation. I know they had Miles Sanders, but he's also been underperforming, so a little panic settled in. So they went out and they acquired Jonathan Taylor. Matter of fact, let's just pull up the trade now so everyone can see it. Might as well go through both the trades real quick. So the first trade here, they acquired Jonathan Taylor and Tyler Lockett, and they gave Luke Calvin Ridley, Miles Sanders, and AJ Green.
Yeah, I think that worked out for them. Got them
I agree. The big turnaround for Luke is that they get Calvin Ridley, who hasn't really hit stride yet, but they're giving up a lot for that. Luke is giving up a lot for that.
Yeah, but to give up Lockett, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either, but it definitely Montgomery. Taylor absolutely plugs in Montgomery right away, so it's like nothing ever happened. So that's great for them.
Yeah,
I think it's a win. Absolutely a win for Big and Nick. I'm not going to say it's a loss for Luke, but I'm not going to say it's a win. So I'm leaning towards it being a loss for them. They do have to lose Ridley in the process. I think they need to get Hubbard out of their lineup, and Waddle's a little sketchy as well. Flexing Odell's fine.
They had some tough shit. I don't know. Chubb's not doing what he should be doing. Odell is not doing anything.
He just got back, yeah. You gotta play Corey Davis, whether it's flex or your wide receiver positions. I think you got to get Corey Davis in there. I know the offense isn't great, but he's seeing a lot of targets. Jamison Crowder's back, but in a PPR, he's more than fine to give you some points. They do get Tyler Lockett, but it's pretty much just a swap for Ridley. Yeah, I think Lockett's been a little better.
Did they give up Ridley? Yeah. So
yeah, it's kind of like a swap for Ridley. And so for this trade, I don't see what Luke got out of it personally.
No, I mean I didn't need it.
That's why I don't think I'm not. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to say it's a loss for Luke completely, but I don't. I just didn't see the point. I didn't see the logic. I don't think any of us ever see the logic for what he does. But I think Big and Nick absolutely won because they plugged in Montgomery. Taylor was probably more consistent, and then they just pretty much swapped Ridley with Lockett. So it's a win for them. Books. They just have to figure out their depth situation and getting in some better flexes here.
Yeah,
Lockett's just the receiver core in general. Yeah.
I think Lockett's got more upside on his team.
They're going to need a tight end now that Logan Thomas is hurt. Just put up a goose egg. So they're not in good shape. They're really not in good shape. I'll be honest. Even after the trade, I know that they plugged in their RB2 and won, but beyond that, they're still not in great shape.
Yeah, I mean they have Cameron Brate. I mean he's going to be good for maybe 1 week, and then Gronk's back. It's not. Yeah, they're not in good shape because of the two flexes. Alone, it's not great. It's not great at the receiving end. I wish them the best. I want them to bounce back just as much as I want to bounce back. I know they know this, so I don't got to beat the drum. And I'll tell you what, they're not done. They're not satisfied with just the one trade. They addressed an issue and they right away. They literally addressed the most important issue. Yeah, they know what they got to do.
Yeah, so. without that Taylor trade, they were in big trouble. Like we're talking like punishment trouble. So that's cleared up. Yeah, the rest is just we'll see how it plays out because I know they're making moves. So should be interesting to watch. I'll tell you what, those two are doing a great job together. They're off to a 2-2 start, so there's nothing wrong with that. It's better than 0-4. I think Big's been 0-4 the last 2 years or now. So there's definitely some positives to come to this. I just don't want him to fall down that freaking injury bug lane. Hopefully it stops there at Montgomery for him. And the thing is too, they'll get Montgomery back, like you said. So
yeah,
it's just can you truck along, get some wins, get on track, and then just add him later. That'd be a perfect scenario for them. So we got 2 more matches. Let's go over Adon, who finally got his first win, just like you did. Definitely well deserving of a first win. It was another close ass matchup against another good team in Tooch and Danny, who I know are also injury ridden and all over the waiver trading wire today. I'm sure the waiver wire tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
You can go ahead and touch on it first.
Yeah, I mean Don's got a similar situation to me, putting up a lot of points but not getting the wins. So big week for him. I mean, some of his guys didn't even produce. Henry went off pretty good. But yeah, he's got a solid team. He's just got to get the wins in.
Yeah.
Tooch and Danny too. They have a good team. Yeah, someone got hurt, right?
Yeah, well, McCaffrey got hurt last week. That doesn't help. And then they never really had a true RB2. And then what else had? Yeah, they're just.
Yeah, they got
Oh, I'm sorry. AJ Brown got hurt, of course. So yeah, they lost AJ and they lost McCaffrey. That's absolutely huge. And for a team that we all knew and they knew there was lacking depth, it fucking punched them in the nuts. So
yeah.
But they still put up 123. They still put up a solid week. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't far off.
I think another big hole I see, and it's time to give up, is on Tanyan. I just don't think he's worthy anymore. I mean, he needs to get in the end zone, or else he's pretty much fucked. I guess Green Bay just has more mouths to feed this year. They got Cobb. They brought in Cobb. You know what I mean? So I would think about getting a tight end, or even that's one good thing that the tight end position is healthier this year than normal. There's a lot of good waiver options that are still even out there. Get a guy that can put up 10 to 12 points. I know it doesn't seem like a lot retrospectively, but in this match, they would have won, 10 more points and you clearly win. So I would just get some more upside or a little more consistency on the tight end position. I know they're trying to ship some players off. I don't want to disclose too much information, but there is a trade on the table for Keenan Allen and for me to give up Antonio Gibson. I'm honestly still contemplating that option because it has no effect on my other trade that I did today. So I could also do that as well. I am debating that. I know they're desperate. They are absolutely desperate for a running back. And
Yeah,
they're gonna find one. So yeah, Deontay's been a beast.
What was that?
I'm back.
This is considered a bad week for Murray as well. By the way, 26 points is not a great week for him. This dude's an absolute monster.
Oh no, he should be putting up 40. I mean, he put up.
Yeah, this is a nice. It's a floor, but
42
his ceiling is so freaking high, Murray. Dale, yeah, we were just covering the the Don versus Nick and Danny game. We're just looking at we're talking about Nick and Danny's injury-ridden situation and the fact that they didn't have depth to begin with, so it's really punching them in the nuts here.
They're deep at receiver. They're deep at receiver,
they're deep,
but not in running back.
Yeah, they got
running backs are horrendous, but they're making a push. They're making a big push. There's a trade on the table for if I give them Antonio Gibson for Keenan Allen.
For who?
The trade that's on the table right now that's offered is Keenan Allen for Antonio Gibson, which I thought was also a pretty fair trade. This was prior to me completing the other trade, but it has no effect on that other trade. Still something I'm considering, but that's possible. I know they're gonna keep fighting to get at least an RB1 and just try to keep like flexing into McKissick or Sherman. Ideally, they don't want to be playing McKissick and Gibson, obviously, but yeah, dude, they need some help, man. I don't know, kind of tough.
Yeah, their running backs on their bench put up 0 and 3. They need something.
Yeah, they still got enough big names to carry them through some wins.
Yeah, definitely, and Kyler Murray's gonna help them.
And then Don, out of all the wins he could have pulled off, it was this one, which was a closer win. But he deserved it. He needed it, as you know. It definitely starts with one win. I looked for Don to be on the rise, 100%. I think he has one of the most points for. Bill already alluded to that in the power rankings. Pitts looks fine. 450. He's doing all right. He needs to find ways to get into the end zone. Obviously, Cordell Patterson is eating everything there, apparently. So kudos to the dog Joey, who's just taking everyone's points. Brady was horrendous this week. Like literally, I think the first time I seen him look like a human being.
Yeah, he was.
Of course, in his homecoming game, New England, he was not great.
He was terrible. Just a side note, Don, you have an empty bench slot if you're watching this.
Don has Yeah, he is in at the measure. He actually has 2 empty bench spots because he needs to move Landry into the IR.
That is true.
But yeah, this is typical Don. He's missing 2 bench spots, and his bench is the New York Giants. And Bart's and Boston Scott. It is funny, but at the same time, like I mean, why not just do it? Something. I mean, I think we've said this every week for 4 years. So I mean, I'm not even going to spend time on it. Don, go on the waivers, move freaking Landry to the IR, and pick up who the hell you want. I mean, and use your fab then if you want, I guess, or don't. I don't know, or just don't wait till the fab and just don't spend any money, but try to get pick someone up for free.
0.
CH finally found the end zone, so that was good. Henry's been an absolute consistent monster. Henry, by the way, Henry was the guy we want. I can keep harping on that. I still would prefer Henry over Cooks to this point. I just got fucked by Don. Thielen coming back to reality. That whole offense kind of slowed down. I mean, actually, to be honest, Cleveland defense looks pretty legit, by the way. So that game was a terrible fantasy game from both Cleveland and Vikings. Very disappointing from both sides. I had Cook. I can tell you. I guess other than maybe Hunt, no one was happy that game from either side. So Galladay looks better. That's good for him. I mean, one of these Giants have to go off, right?
Good week at Gesicki too. I guess he's
playing.
Yeah,
Gesicki found the end zone.
Tight ends, I guess he's playing.
Yeah. And because Brady had a bad day, Evans didn't have a great day. He had a good day. He had a very solid day. 775 made his awesome job. But there was no touchdowns, which obviously Brady didn't throw any, so that goes hand in hand. So Don finally got a win with his team kind of hitting his floor. So this is how unpredictable and how random fantasy can be. Don has one of the most points, and I think 130 he's gonna put up normally. So he'll be fine.
He's been putting up a lot.
Yeah, he just got to worry about this. Literally, like if he gets any more injuries, like Landry already kind of hurt him. That's part of the reason why he ended up 1-3. But one more injury and he's in trouble. That's the only thing I could say. And if he doesn't make a move, I hate to say it, man, but the odds are that he's going to end up in that situation. So, yeah, that's that. I mean, I literally we can't tell Don every week to do something.
There's no reason he shouldn't have 2 more players on his team just in case.
Yeah.
I mean, pick up 2 defenses. Doesn't even matter. Pick up a
I'm
random.
pretty sick of McKissick. I think McKissick needs to just retire at this point. He's pretty kind of pissing me off.
What do we got?
That's pretty much it for this one. Yep.
Lukey and Luke.
Luke and Luke. Luke versus Luke.
Is he the only 0-14?
Yes. So we'll touch on Luke Liggs first. Obviously, he's the trade magician. Apparently, he's literally traded at least 3 huge trades since I can recall between Dill and then 2 today, Big and myself. So whatever you're looking at right now is not even remotely what his team's going to look like in week 5, which might be a good thing for him because he's absolutely desperate. He's on the za. He's lost. I mean, at least he's up, he's down. I don't know.
Yeah, he knows he's got to do something, and he's making moves.
You're right. He's definitely trying to shake things up. I don't like that strategy. I'm not even sure what the logic really is, but I don't like the strategy. But I mean, what do you have to lose? I guess, right? Yeah, so I get it. Although the season's not over.
Yeah, I don't know who he would
definitely
get.
time to.
Who did he trade?
Yeah.
Who did he trade Lockett for?
So he traded Lockett. It was Lockett and Taylor he gave to Big. And then he acquired Ridley. I'll get it.
Ridley, Sanders, and AJ Green. Does he need that though?
Yeah, Ridley, Sanders, and AJ Green.
His running backs are doing pretty decent. It's just this week, really.
And then I traded him. So we'll go back to we'll finish up these trade.
He needs flex guys. He's got nothing.
Yeah, so he did the Ridley, Miles, AJ Green for Tyler Lockett and Jonathan Taylor. And then he turned around and traded me James Robinson and Jamar Chase for Antonio Brown, Josh Jacobs, and Melvin Gordon. James Robinson, who he acquired via trade with Dill earlier in the year.
Right.
So he essentially shipped out 4 guys today. He
Yeah,
brought
'cause-
in 6 and shipped out 4. That's where Luke stands today. So that is a complete facelift. Again, we can go back and look at his new team.
That's half his team changing out right there.
Yeah, 100%. The only thing that stays the same is literally Russell Wilson, Dallas Goedert,
Wilson is
and then
solid.
there's 2 flexes.
Wilson is solid. I was looking to get him again this year.
I definitely agree with plugging in Jamison Crowder now that he's here. He's healthy. Looks like he has a lot of targets in the Jets. You know, I the only thing that sucks is the Jets offense. Like he's relying on Jets and Denver offense, which kind of scares me.
That's tough, but I mean,
He's now got 2. He's back to having 2 Denver players. No. I'm not sure why he's starting both Josh Jacobs and Melvin Gordon. I mean, you could. Basically, he was starting what I had as my RB3 and my RB4.
Where do you?
I know.
I was confused. I didn't see.
I know Sanders hasn't been excellent, but I don't understand how you, especially with his roster, I don't see how you don't start Miles Sanders. I'm going to be honest. So, to be fair, Miles Sanders is his RB2. If you want to throw, I would put Gordon over Sutton, I guess. I don't know. He's missing a spot, man.
Yeah, he should be playing Sanders.
He's got to play Sanders. I would put AJ, honestly. That's what I would do. I would have Josh and Sanders, and then Crowder and AJ Green. I'd feel a little better about the situation.
Yeah.
Keep Gordon on the bench. Keep Sutton on the bench.
Yeah, Sutton's not really performing there.
Yeah. That's my feeling on that. He definitely needs to. He might as well just work the waiver wire as well because his bench is atrocious beyond Sanders and Green.
Yeah.
You know, I guess Beasley's like okay in PPR, but he's really hasn't. He just kind of not. You just don't know where you're getting there. He now has the true handcuff because he had Kenny Drake the whole time, which was part of his logic to take Josh Jacobs. So fine, have him. That's what I said pretty much.
Yeah.
I don't know if Eli Mitchell will ever become relevant again. Personally, he's been banged up, and I think Trey Sermon's finally taken off in that offense.
He finally got rid of Todd Gurley, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he had to get rid of someone because he acquired too many people.
Yeah.
All right, and then let's just go back to the matchup itself. So there's not much to talk about Luke. He had a better week than me in big, but it was a shitty week, and he has a complete facelift. So that being said, let's see. I don't even know if the trading and stuff is done. So, but let's see what it looks like next week. Good luck to him. He really can't afford another loss at the moment, so he's all in on finding a win. He also doesn't have a fab, which we all knew he spent like in the first week. So he actually spent like $90 of fab on Eli Mitchell, who hasn't. I don't think he's gotten a point since then. But on the other side, I think we have probably the sleeper of the entire league. I don't want to jinx him or anything like that. He's always had a solid team, like literally, I think every freaking season, at least that we can recall.
Yeah,
he's always in contention. He's just always there. I don't want to jinx, but I think this could be a team that can bring him to the finals finally. If not, he's gonna make it to at least the semifinals. Personally,
he's on playoffs definitely. I mean, Barkley looks great.
Yeah.
There's
there's still some question marks, but I think there's a lot of upside that he's gonna play around with. Like Damian Williams is now a starter. Freaking Montgomery's done. So I mean, you got Harris and Barkley. Obviously, you keep them there, but now you have a second flex option. I think I don't know I don't know how he started Ruggs and Hardman.
No, I think he's got him.
I don't know where that logic.
I think he's got him.
What happened?
I think he's got him flipped because look at his flexes our Robbie Woods.
I could see that. I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether they're here or
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I would play Renfro over Ruggs in a PPR any day, personally. Because if Ruggs isn't getting a touchdown, it's blah. It's basically what you see, if not worse. Renfro is going to get, 6 carries, 6 catches is probably like a floor. It's probably a minimum, 6, 5, something like that. And then if Renfro also gets in the end zone, it's just a bonus that you did. Cook finally showed up. Excellent week. I don't know if you play him over Noah Fant. I don't think I would trust him over Noah Fant. So I think he's fine there. But remember, you could always flex it at tight end. So
he could trade that to one of these guys that need a tight end. Got a couple teams.
Gainwell looks legit. He's definitely the RB2 in Philly, actually outplaying Sanders at the moment. And again, Williams is now a starter, so that definitely gives him some plus there. Higgins obviously is still recovering from an injury, which usually is true flex. If Aaron Jones goes down for any reason, AJ Dillon is an absolute gem.
Yeah, that's a good handcuff there.
Yeah, great handcuff, exactly. Yeah, I mean his bench, he has one of the better depths in the league.
Yeah, he's got a lot of points on the bench. 84. And 2 of them are
and still put up 142. I think there's just a couple plugins that can make his team even better. But yeah, 142 will win you most weeks. Godwin obviously played like shit too. The whole obviously they didn't get any. There's just no touchdown to go around there.
That was a bad game.
Yeah, but this is RB1 and 2 are showing up, and Jalen Hurts had a good week, man. The rushing touchdowns help, which we knew. That's pretty much why everyone was so high on Jalen in the draft. I really would like to see Ruggs and Hartman come out of his lineup. I'll be honest, and I think he can go as far as I was saying. But I think he knows that. He definitely knows that. Sometimes you see matchups. I mean, but then again, they freaking played the Chargers, so it's not like it was a good matchup there. I can see any KC player against Philly. So
yeah,
I don't know. I get it, but same time.
He's already changed. He's got
He did, right? Yeah.
He's got
Listen, sometimes you plug and learn, and you still pulled off a huge win by 30 points.
He's got Higgins in for next week.
Well, Higgins is back. Well, at least he.
Yeah, he took
I don't know if it's 100%. Let me see. Well, he's sitting in 4th place. He's got a great enough points for. I think he can make some trades too if he needed to. You could sell like a Robert Woods. I think that's one of the good selling targets right now, personally.
Yeah, he's got some.
Yeah. See, I like this. So he did exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Damian Wilson gets plugged in now. He's a starter. You got T. Higgins coming back from injury, so great. I think we're at least assuming he's going to play. I don't know if that's guaranteed. If it is, great. And then, Woods and Godwin are definitely your 1 and 2. I like that. Definitely like that. I mean, and then worst case scenario, I think you have Renfro on your flex.
Yeah.
Next man up.
Yeah,
that's what I would say.
This week.
Yeah.
See about that.
Yeah, because if Higgins doesn't play, I don't think there's anything wrong with Renfro. He's going to get you 15 points. I'll take that. Yeah.
He's got a couple guys on his IR mode.
Luke's got a solid team, man.
Hilton.
He's definitely healthy for the most part. Saquon's looking good, so that helps.
Yeah.
So that's it for the matchups. I know Dill touched on the power rankings already. He's been doing that separately, so we'll probably just keep that off air. There's no reason to fucking do it twice. We definitely want to add some more things to the podcast, to talk about and not just make it so bland and it's pretty much the same thing over and over, which kind of gets boring. I really just want to talk. I guess the next thing before we finish, we don't want to spend too much time this week, but I think we should go over maybe some quick, maybe waiver pickups, things like that. Maybe drop candidates, players you can just get rid of, players that people should be targeting. We'll go more specific in our league. If you want to pull up some waiver wire, maybe I could just ask you some questions on it. Do you have off the top of your head any? Remember, no one should be able to. Well, they might hear it tonight, but in reality, they're probably not going to hear it till tomorrow morning after the waivers go through. So, do you have anyone that you think it doesn't have to be you specifically, but just players in general that should be targeted this week in the waiver wire? Could be anyone. Quarterbacks. Don't forget about defenses. I think we sleep on defenses.
Yeah, everyone that I was looking into was already taken. So I know I'm trying to get rid of Tyson Williams and get another RB because.
How did Tyson do? Obviously,
2 points. I think they dropped him. He's like the RB3 now in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So
he had a good week against the week 2 against the Raiders were good.
Yeah, he had that 1 week, and then they really dropped him down. They're letting Latavius Murray play.
A low key and might help you in this situation. Might consider it now that I gave away 2 running backs for 1 today. They signed Le'Veon Bell. He actually played last week. He only had 4 carries for 11 yards, but
I did see that.
He is, I could see him eventually starting to creep in there with Murray. They put him back on the practice squad, but that's just to make some roster adjustments. He'll be back on the active roster by next week, probably. But yeah, that's something that people can look at, maybe spending a little bit of fab on. I'm sure people are targeting him, or you might be able to pick him up for free. I think he's a pickup candidate. If we want to go through the positions, make this a little easier, let's go with quarterback. I think we talked about who needed what, and there were a few teams that needed quarterbacks. Honestly, there was like 1 or 2 that I can think of on the top of my head that really need to solidify a better QB1 maybe. I think players that could do that is a Trey Lance. Obviously, he came in and he looked awesome. He showed you what he's capable of, especially in fantasy. If he can get the nod, he's going to be an excellent quarterback. I'm not sure why he's not sitting on a roster right now. I don't know. Someone must have dropped him at some point. I may even consider picking him up personally, even though I have 2 running quarterbacks. I think he's a huge quarterback candidate. Beyond that, it's kind of like a shit show. I'll be honest. So I'm not even going to consider anyone else a pickup candidate. Maybe better than like some of the players that some people have, but
there was a few that I was looking that I had really good weeks, and I was looking for them, and they were all on a couple guys' teams already. I think you had someone.
I guess like Brissett has been okay, and Matt Ryan is Matt Ryan, but there's nothing that's like still better than like these Baker Mayfields, these Tannehills, unfortunately. Other than I think the only one who can give you a lot more upside is someone like a Trey Lance. Actually, Daniel Jones, I'm going to throw in there too. Obviously, it's going to be hit or miss, but he can get you 30-point weeks.
Yeah, I just was looking at his stats earlier. He's getting.
He's the only one I would throw in that conversation, maybe.
More
from the running back standpoint, it's tough, man. There's the well is dry, I guess, as you would say.
That's the thing. There's no running backs.
You know what's funny? Running backs aren't doing so. They're okay. So there's a few that like put up like no one broke 30, by the way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And Henry just under 20. So it's about 13 that put over 20 from 20 to 29 points. And then it's just there's a big drop off, to be honest. It's just there's not enough production from running backs, I'll be honest.
Yeah, that's a big
but
thing.
there are some like handcuff options out there. Like McNichols is doing decently in Tennessee because like both wide receivers are out, so they're just ditching off passes, I guess.
Yeah, you got 25 guys. Not even.
Yeah, I don't really trust Malcolm Brown, but Gaskins isn't looking great, so maybe you can stream him and hope for him to take that spot.
Gaskins sucks. Drop him.
Which one?
Myles Gaskin should be dropped.
You basically, I guess you could just like try to shoot for Brown. Who else would take over in that backfield?
Gaskin's the most talented back in that backfield, bro. If you look at his production, he got like 10 points.
No, he definitely is.
And then this week, they literally gave him 2 carries for 3 yards. The entire game, he had 2 touches, which makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, that's not good. I guess Darrell Williams is a little bit something to consider at Kansas City.
The same offense that I'm just not going to be starting Gaskin anytime soon. P-Ron is a big pickup.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so the well's pretty dry at running back, unfortunately. At the receiver side, as far as what comes to mind here for waiver pickups, maybe like a Deshaun Jackson if you want to stream a big heavy hitter kind of player, but I mean he's been up and down. You got our waiver wise. Yeah, Chester Rogers definitely an option if AJ and Julio Rao are at least one of them.
Yeah, I think they should.
Sure.
They're like questionable. They should be coming back this week or next week. But if you need a 1 week streamer, I don't know. Receivers are pretty deep though. Most people have pretty deep receivers in this league. Running backs are where it gets scarce. That's why it's so important to have.
It's surprisingly a lot of the big waiver targets this week are actually already on rosters in our league. So I guess our league is just doing a pretty damn good job. Someone even like a Chenault. I mean, these guys are already picked up and sitting on rosters. So you gotta give our league credit for doing their due diligence. I'll be honest. It's a tough league.
It's competitive this year.
It's so competitive. It's to the point where it's harder to drop someone to pick someone up. It's like you don't want to let anyone go. That's how it should be.
Teams that are in like last place, like aside from Luke, even that bad. Like Chris and Don are 1 and 3, and they're like 11th and 10th, but like they can easily beat the first place team. So it's like there's really no like clear cut front runner right now. I mean, I guess it's Joey because he hasn't lost, but still, like Chris was in last place and he just put up 180. So that shows that literally no one's safe in any given week.
No, absolutely not. No, it's gonna be a battle each week, each and every week. Like literally, no one's out of contention. Not even Luke Legs, who just has a complete facelift this week. So, in fact, I think the position that has the most flexibility this year for once is tight end, as far as waiver wire. Tight end, and I don't think anybody wants to sleep on defenses. I know it sounds cliche, but there's only few and limited defenses and matchups that are worth picking up. So don't be afraid to stream or to pick up a second defense and try to plug and play. Like example, I have Arizona who had a great start to the season, but they have a tough schedule, so I can't really keep them in the next couple of weeks here. I don't it is waiver night. It's Tuesday. If you're hearing this tomorrow morning, it's too late. But I hope you guys get active. You start using your fab. It's not panic mode yet, but I mean, this is probably time to start spending some money, making some trades, and getting active. We're staying active. I mean, clearly there's a lot going on. We got 2 huge trades that went down today. There's literally trade talks left, right, and everywhere in between. There's probably not one person who's not in trade talk except for maybe Don, because I don't think he wants to do anything. But it's been good. Again, we're not going to harp on the power rankings and the podcast anymore because you do that separately, Don.
Yeah, it also honestly, dude, it changes every week.
It's repetitive and it's changing, yeah. But we don't really need to do it twice. We'll keep that a separate segment. We definitely need to come up with some more fresh ideas for the podcast. So seriously, like if people can just give feedback, we don't really care what it is. We could play, I don't know, Duck Duck Goose on live stream if you really want us to. Just let us know what it is, and we'll put it out and we'll do it. I mean, it also gets boring for us. Like we enjoy doing this. We absolutely love it, but we need to spice this up. We can't just talk about the matchup and the same freaking thing every week. And if it's not for the trades and transactions, it's kind of pretty blah at this point, or injuries. I feel like we keep harping on the same things, unfortunately. I guess that's just what it is, really. So we'll do a better job. We just need feedback, I think, really. And how did the Yankees do? I'm assuming you're not so good.
Yeah, lost. Shout out to all my
year.
Yankee fans in the league. Rough season, but we'll be back.
Man, we'll get it back. We'll be back. I do want to shout out breast cancer. Obviously, why I wore the pink today. To all our families, members, and friends, and anyone we know that had to deal with that. Also, don't forget about COVID-19. That's still a real thing. Take care of each other. Wear your masks. wash your damn hands, get vaccinated. Personally, honestly, you could save lives. I think it's kind of ignorant at this point, but it is what it is. Yeah, I think we've pretty much touched everything. Chris, I definitely want to give you the floor because you don't get to come on all the time. Maybe once a year. It's kind of just how it rolls. But you're definitely welcome to come back at some point this year. But go ahead and have the floor. You tell the people what you want to say.
Don't have much. No, it's been a good season so far. We got a lot of competitive teams. Like Dulce was saying, it's anyone's game right now. So good luck to everyone. We'll see how we do.
Thanks, Chris.
Love
Man,
it.
it's always a pleasure, and congrats on your win. I said it already twice, but I didn't do it officially, and it's always a good matchup when it comes down to us too.
Yeah, that was definitely not as close as it usually is for me and you.
Yeah, no, definitely not. That's definitely not good for me, but we'll meet again. We'll meet again. Where, and that's what it's about. I know Dill is going to do everything to get in there as well. Everyone's punching, man. We're all battling. Everybody wants to be in the playoffs this year. There's not one team that's not trying to punch their way in. Nobody's even thinking about loser punishment. Like, it's all about getting in the playoffs. Yeah.
Even Lukey making trades, like he's 0-4, but he's not giving up, which I love.
He acquired 6 players and gave up 4 today. He has a complete facelift.
Yeah.
Let's have Dill just look at his team real quick. Let's have Dill cover his team, his new team, his fresh face. What do you think about it, Dill?
I think you know what? In the long term, I think he may have lost some of those trades because he gave away some big guys. But you got to go by where you are now and what you need. And he's kind of like in the win now mode where he can't really afford to wait any longer. So he got some guys like viable options that are deep that he could plug into his roster now. Like I remember beforehand, he had Todd Gurley on his bench. He had Jerry Jeudy, like guys that were IR or not even playing. We all know he drafted Michael Thomas first, so he was already without a first-round pick. I know he traded him to me, but he was already like at a disadvantage. So he needed guys like to win now, whereas other guys had the chance to maybe wait. So he acquired some depth for guys that he could throw right in his lineup. Like he's got his double flexes filled now. Like right now, he doesn't have any like crazy superstars. Probably Ridley's his best player, but he has like all guys that he can kind of rely on each week to put up points. I think that's kind of what he needs. Like, I don't know. Didn't hear what you said about it from your take, but I think that's kind of like the gist of what I was getting at with what he wanted. I'd assume is what he's, that was his kind of goal.
Yeah, I think the one thing we also said was like, I'm not sure if it's guaranteed. He's still in trade talks with like everyone else in the league, but I know Miles Sanders hasn't done great, but why is he not in the lineup? That's my question. Again, we don't want to give too much help to people. They got to make decisions, but I think he should find Miles Sanders in one of the RB spots or flex spots. But other than that, he's going to need a little bit more help. I don't think he's done. He's going to work the waiver. He's probably going to get another trade done soon. I know he was targeting Ezekiel earlier. I know that's also in trade talks.
Yeah.
See, there's this is a huge week, man. This is an absolute monster of a week. And then after this week, I'm pretty sure the bye start next week. I know week 7. Yeah, I think next week we get the bye start. So if you haven't started to consider your bye weeks as well, don't let that go through. I mean, I looked at it today after all my trades, and I have literally 7 players on the bye, starting players on the bye week 7. So prepare for that. Don't get screwed. Good luck. I think it's going to be an excellent week. We have a lot of good matchups. Real quick, we'll take a look at the matchups, and we'll let everybody go here. Real quick, you guys want to pick a matchup of the week?
For next week?
It's got Weezer versus Joey is always fun. Just because the rivalry.
That's huge.
But if I had to really pick like a really good matchup, I think it's Chris and Junior, because those are just 2 heavy hitters. Like those are 2 guys that could drop 180 on any given week. I think those guys are number 1 and 2 in points for if Joey's not up there. But like that could be like a 170 to 172 matchup. And I know Chris hates being in those because he always gets the shit end of the stick on these nail biters, but I could totally see it happening.
Yeah, Chris is gonna be another nail biter.
And I agree. That's going to be.
And it's funny, it's the 3-1 versus the 1-3, but literally they can go toe to toe.
No,
Yeah.
but if you look at the points, I think Chris is very close to Junior.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So that's what I'm saying. They're definitely gonna go toe to toe. 529 to 553. So yeah, they're gonna go toe to toe 100%.
That's points against. He's got 620 and I have 600.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and Joey's
626 to 601. Yeah.
Yeah, Joey's got 611.
Yeah, this is gonna be a heavyweight battle. Whether it's record doesn't matter there. Me and Dill always have good games. It doesn't matter what team, what year. I know our game is gonna somewhat be close. I know that. I think those three matchups are definitely the three to key into.
Yeah, and
then Luke and Don. Luke, neither of them can afford a loss.
Whichever one of them wins is going to be big for position.
You got two 2-2 teams bowing it out, which is huge. I guess the big question mark, literally, possibly, if not becoming the biggest rivalry. I think Joey and Commissioner Sal might be the biggest rivalry we have now. At least it's growing. I think, the big headline there is can the dog get his first loss? Will Junior bounce back? What 2-2 teams are gonna get their third win? Will Luke drop to 0-5 and basically almost be out of playoff contention already? And will Cass continue his sneaking out his early wins? I think that's the headline for week 5. I think that's literally sums up all 6 matches there.
Will Joey?
Anything else, guys?
Will Joey quit?
Yeah, will Joey quit?
30 on Saturday.
At what time on Sunday or Thursday will Joey quit?
I just want to know who plays Joey on the week that the Chiefs have a bye.
So the Chiefs have by week 12. So although he's not going to need it, he'll be 11-0 by then. So I don't think it fucking matters.
What do we play?
But we'll look. He plays on week 12. If it lets me go to week 12, that'd be cool. What's up with my internet? Oh boy. That's
playing
weird.
Lukey.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop sharing because that's not working. He's playing Luke Legs.
Yeah.
So he'll be 11-0 and Luke Legs will be 0-11. So what does it really mean? But no, man, thank you guys. We're probably over an hour, actually. Honestly, we might be over an hour, but it was a good podcast. I literally love having you, Chris. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah.
It's always a good time. Yeah, man. We'd like to see you in person. That'd be cool.
All right, let's do it. Well, I ate wings.
Catch some games.
Nobody showed up.
I was there. I would also like
You
to
guys wanna
apologize
set
to
something
the
up? Let me know.
podcast. I want to apologize to the podcast for my tardiness tonight. I was had to do some work while also being out at a bar, having to go back and pay my tab. And but I wanted to make sure I had an appearance. But I'm sure that Baby Sal and Chris did a fine job for the parts that I didn't hear. But I should be back in full effect. Sometimes actual work takes over fantasy work, sadly, because if I didn't do this, then I wouldn't have the fees to pay for the league. So, anyways.
Yeah, well, I obviously owe you a week anyway, so we're even. And
yep. All right.
keep it
So
rolling,
we'll be
man.
back next week. Anyone that hasn't been on the podcast that wants to, we've normally just been picking like the highest point leader. But eventually that method runs out and it happens more than once. So yeah, I think we haven't a couple people we haven't had. Luca Duccio, would love to have him on. Tooch or Danny or both would be fun. I know Big and Totolo. I think Big popped by for a little bit. He never got to be on. We haven't had the commissioner on.
Joey
a couple other
technically
people we haven't had
popped
on
in
either,
first,
I think. We had Don on. But yeah, we didn't have everyone. So if you want to be on, please let us know.
Yeah, we might even do multiple guest weeks here and there. There's no reason we can't do that.
Yeah, we can always
brings
spice
more-
it up
more-
instead
more-
of having one
yeah,
guy for an
definitely
hour.
spice it
We
up.
could switch them in.
More heads, and we definitely need more content or new content. So just help us please, and let us know what you want to hear, what you want to see. The Dill's going to keep the power rankings to the side. I think that's a fun segment, and we just got to add other things that we can do. Thank you guys. It was literally fun. Again, supporting breast cancer this month, so wear pink as much as you can, and spread love, and tell somebody you love them. Of course.
Let's go. It was fun, boys.
All right.
You're rolling. Good
Thanks,
luck.
guys. Thank you for coming out, Chris.
Thank you,
And
guys.
I love you.
Bye, Chris. Always a pleasure.